What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another episode review. And today we are going to be reviewing Chucky season 2, episode 4. Before we get right into it, let's go to the synopsis for the episode first. Tiffany's secrets are threatened by a surprise intervention. I guess what it says. Going into this episode, I was really interested because, like, the last episode, we got nothing from the Tiffany and Nika storyline. We got nothing from that episode. It was all just Chucky stuff. And then this episode seemed to be doing the opposite. It's all just the Tiffany stuff, but no Chucky. And I really felt like people weren't going to be really okay with that, so they had to put like this weird Chucky like breaking the fourth wall type thing. It's like, hello, welcome to our latest episode of Chucky. And that's a little jarring. It's fun for what it is, and you also get this little cameo from a WWE wrestler. For people that are fans of that, would have probably loved that. Me personally, I don't know who she was. But yeah, that's basically the only reason that they have any Chucky in the episode, like actually on screen Chucky. Obviously we do get some little bit of Nika Chucky in this episode a little bit. But this episode is okay. Let's get to the positives of the episode first. The main thing I liked of this episode is getting to see Glenn and Glenda reintroduced. They are handled pretty well, but I also feel like this episode really tries to lean into the comedy of what like Seed brought, and I don't know if that's because of Glenn and Glenda being back in the picture or what. I don't know if that's why they did that, why it's more comedy, because there's like this weird murder mystery homage going on here, which feels really weird and out of place and trying to be funny, and it's not. And we also get to see a little bit of the fact that, like, reminds us, like, oh yeah, this is Jennifer Tilly's body, not Tiffany Valentine's body, and not even Glenn and Glenda know that. Which is really weird, and we see that, like, in a flashback in the episode that, like, they discovered Nika before this most recent thing, and Glenn and Glenda kind of have similar but also different disinterests in here. Like, Glenda wants to kill Tiffany along with Chucky because, like, Chucky is, like, alongside, in Nika's mind, and he comes back out again at a point in the episode, and then obviously you see Glenn at points with Nika, and Glenn being the nice one and everything. But the thing is, with this episode, it only has a little bit of stuff, like the stuff where it's like Nika, the Glenn and Glenda, like, figuring things out and all that. And also, we get the return of Kyle in this episode. So, yeah, we knew Kyle wasn't dead. There was no way that Kyle was dead. And we see that Nika winds up escaping, but Glenn winds up staying back with Tiffany, and it's like, it's really weird. There's also a bunch of this stuff. It's like there's like references and stuff to a bunch of other Jennifer Tilly's like acting and all that stuff in this, and it just feels very distracting. And it's a weak episode. This episode is very weak. There wasn't a single episode in season 1 or season 3 so far where I was like, okay, I'm not enjoying this. This is like it was a drag to get through. This episode was such a drag. I don't know if it's because they were trying to lean a lot into the comedy aspects from Seed, or what. It's just really weird. Getting to see some returning characters is nice, and also I feel like for the most part it's handled pretty well. It's just the fact that the in between bits of the episode with this weird murder mystery storyline thing that's thrown in here, and repeats like Tiffany or Jennifer Tilly, Tiffany and it's really like being played really weird, and like it's not a good episode. I was very much disappointed by this episode, and the kills weren't even really anything to write home about, and also the reveals and stuff in this episode is like really. The only kill I kind of liked is at the end of the episode when Chucky kills the freaking where Chucky kills the WWE guest star, which is kind of funny the way it's played out, but it seems to be they might have gone a little bit into too much into the campiness of this episode. I think really feeling like the really, really comedic stuff that we got from Seed definitely felt like a massive influence on this episode. But then there is some glimmers of some stuff with Nika and Glenn and Glenda and their conflicting stuff with their mom and what they want. It's really interesting to see what in the world is going on with those characters. And also knowing that Kyle's alive, which we already knew Kyle was alive, and we found out that there was this whole orchestrated plan to break Nika out by the end of the episode. It's like, it's just weird. This episode, if I had to give this episode a rating, I've got to disagree with the only 2 critic ratings that are on here. That they're fresh. I gotta disagree. This is the weakest episode. There's not much for me to love here. I was not the biggest fan of this episode, but I will be nice to it because of some of the so I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5 rating for this episode. I was not the biggest fan of this episode though. What do you guys think of the episode? Let me know down in the comments. I would really be interested to know what you guys thought of the episode. I think this episode could have been done way better. I felt like this was definitely a place to bring these characters back would have been a really interesting thing, and it is interesting. But the murder mystery stuff with Tiffany and all that is the main problem I have with this episode, and just some of the writing in this episode just feels, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan, but hopefully they'll do better with these characters in future episodes. Hopefully, but that's all I gotta say for this review. Let me know what you guys think of this episode down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!